All the first thing, anything can happen. Anybody can be knocked out. Because remember, the chin don't lift weights. That's what I always say.
Heavyweights as the sparring, or bigger people, like from middleweight to heavyweight. And the thing is, don't be surprised, okay? This is a photo. This is a photo of one of the bigger guys that he was sparring.
Floyd Mayweather was reportedly stunned after watching Gervonta tank. Davis flattened a heavyweight during a recent sparring session ahead of the Jake Paul showdown. Mayweather commented that most people still don't grasp the truth about boxing. It's not just about size. Power, timing, and precision, he said, can erase any weight advantage. Floyd emphasized that a smaller, sharper fighter can absolutely put a bigger man down, and Tank just proved that theory in real time, dropping someone nearly twice his size in camp.
Anybody can be knocked out, so I don't put nothing past nobody. I could be knocked out. Hit me from the blind side. That's most of the time how fighters get knocked out, with the hook. You can't see a hook coming because it comes from the blind side. But as far as with boxing, I don't really need to beef with. I really don't need to beef with nobody in the sport of boxing. Even though it could be some people I really don't like, I don't need to beef with nobody. They ain't got what I got. They boxers. I'm a businessman. And then on the outside, most times a motherfucker got beef with me because they ain't got what I got.
Gervonta Davis has built his career by constantly testing himself against bigger, stronger opponents long before this upcoming clash. His coaches say that training with naturally heavier fighters pushes his reflexes, precision, and timing to a razor-sharp level. It's a method that keeps him fast under pressure and fearless against size disadvantages. On the other hand, Jake Paul has been grinding in his own way, sparring with shorter, evasive boxers to mirror Davis's speed and movement. Both camps understand that size alone doesn't win fights. Davis's foundation is built on years of conditioning, power, and composure. Paul's approach centers on strategy, range control, and adaptability. As their camps intensify, it's becoming clear that this matchup will be decided not by size, but by discipline, precision, and ring IQ.
Or bigger people, like from middleweight to heavyweight. And the thing is, don't be surprised, okay? This is a photo. This is a photo of one of the bigger guys that he was sparring. But in the past, like maybe a few years ago, he was fighting a guy in Mayweather's camp. He was a bigger guy. I think he was like a middleweight or something like that. He was whooping his ass. One time he was like on live whooping a bigger guy's ass. He's just beating bigger guys like middleweights and stuff. He's done that in sparring forever. Remember this story? I've brought it up a million times and I've showed this clip a million times, but on Ellie Set Back. This story of this guy saying how Gervonta Tank Davis knocked out this heavyweight.
Tell me the story. What happened?
Tank, what's the one boy name?
No, don't say a name. I don't want to embarrass anyone.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. I thought he died. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Hey, I've seen him knock out some heavyweights. He might knock all that ass out now.
You knocked out a heavyweight?
Yeah.
How was that?
Because I hit harder than Wilder.
Now, granted, the heavyweights that Gervonta Tank Davis is whooping and sparring is not like, all-time great heavyweights, all right? And it shouldn't be. But he's sparring the level of heavyweight that, more experienced than Jake Paul, right? But Jake Paul has beaten those heavyweights himself, all right? I'm thinking that is the caliber of heavyweight that Gervonta Tank Davis is sparring, but he's whooping their asses. And that's a good thing. I feel with Jake Paul sparring Raymond Ford, to me, it looked like Raymond Ford got the best of him. It looked like Jake Paul was a little exhausted, and it looked like Raymond Ford wasn't. It looked like Jake Paul was a little disappointed in his performance, and Raymond Ford was trying to give him a pick-me-up. Just kind of letting him know. No, we do this and do that. It just looked like Raymond Ford was in a confident, secure place, more dominant place, the more alpha out the two in the ring, and that's Raymond Ford. That ain't Gervonta Davis. I love Raymond Ford. I have him on my fighters list. But still, I don't think anyone thinks he's as skillful or as powerful as Gervonta Tank Davis.
Reports from Gervonta Davis's camp describe sparring sessions that have left gym veterans stunned. Witnesses say they've seen Davis floor partners towering over him, men with clear size and strength advantages. The shock wasn't just his power, it was his pinpoint precision. When Davis lands clean, the reaction is immediate. Fighters who enter the ring expecting to overwhelm him with mass quickly learn that's a dangerous assumption. Insiders whisper that his power translates well beyond the lightweight class, carrying a kind of shock factor that erases weight gaps. His compact stance, explosive core rotation, and tight mechanics let him create maximum force in minimal space. That blend of balance, timing, and speed turns every punch into a potential equalizer, making Davis a threat to anyone, no matter how big they are.
So look at this. Gervonta Davis knocked out heavyweight in brutal sparring session. And it just makes me think, you're willing to go spar with heavyweights, but you're not willing to go fight people that you should be fighting. You know what I mean? You're fighting Lamont Roach. His sparring partners was like, man, I was about to spar Tank. He was sparring this big boy, a heavyweight boy. And Tank hit him so hard, he was on the ropes like this, hanging. I thought he died. I was like, man, I hope you don't do this stuff to me. When Davis asked to confirm whether it was true, the WBA lightweight champion said, stuff be happening. Best not to get in there with me. That's it. This guy has all the skills in the world to knock out even heavyweights in sparring, and yet he won't fight Shakur Stevenson. He won't fight Teofimo Lopez. He won't fight anyone that he needs to fight to become great. He's fighting Frank Martin and Lamont Roach. You know what I mean? It's just truly crazy. But hey, it's his career. If he wants to just make money, the easiest money that he can without fighting the hardest competition, so be it.
A well-known boxing analyst recently pointed out that judging Gervonta Davis based on a single performance misses the bigger picture of his career. Even on nights when he doesn't deliver a highlight reel knockout, Davis shows poise under pressure and total control of the moment. That kind of composure isn't built overnight. It comes from years of surviving and adapting at the sport's highest level. Jake Paul has proven bravery in the ring, but he hasn't yet faced the type of deep, tactical challenges where one wrong move can end a fight instantly. For Davis, tough rounds are learning experiences. For Paul, they're still uncharted territory.
Jake Paul is not beating Tank Davis. I can't believe I actually have to make this video, but let's break this down. The fact that there's actually credible names in the boxing industry saying that Jake Paul's gonna KO Tank Davis is wild. Look, I know Tank Davis's last performance against Lamont Roach was not that good. And in recent years, he's devalued his stock as a fighter by cherry picking, being extremely inactive, and just straight up fighting lazy sometimes. But let's not forget the offensive powerhouse that Tank Davis is. When he's on, he's one of the best knockout punchers in the sport today. He usually fights very economical the first few rounds, whether that's by strategy or that's just a habit he's had ever since he started boxing. But he starts out very slow in the first few rounds. But once he starts to let his hands go and that snowball starts running downhill, there's almost nothing in the sport of boxing that can stop that. You need a guy who has elite defense to be able to stop an offensive assault like that. Only guys like Shakur Stevenson, Jaron Ennis, and maybe Devin Haney have the ability to stop that. And then we have Jake Paul. Yes, he's 6'2". Yes, he's going to be 200 pounds in the ring. But as you can see with his fight with Tommy Fury, he has poor defense. Whenever he faces another boxer who actually knows what they're doing, once they let their hands go, Jake doesn't know what to do. He's not comfortable defending, whether that's moving his feet or moving his head or just having a tight high guard. He doesn't do it. He gets fatigued and starts dropping his hands, and that would be fine if he had good movement to make up for it, but he doesn't. He has some pretty decent offense, but he mainly throws punches and combinations for the first 4 or 5 rounds and then gets fatigued. He's not a true one-punch knockout artist, and he's not a very good strategic fighter either when it comes to winning decisions. So what's going to happen is Jake Paul's going to throw combinations for the first 4 or 5 rounds, and then right when he gets tired, Tank's going to come on strong and start unloading with the hardest punches that Jake Paul has ever been hit with. And he'll get stopped. It might not be a one-punch knockout, but Jake Paul will get stopped.
Carl Froch, a former world champion respected for his grit and experience, has voiced serious concerns about the safety of this matchup. His main issue lies in the dramatic size and strength gap between the two fighters, something boxing commissions usually work hard to prevent. Froch acknowledged that spectacle drives viewership, but he warned that without strict control, such physical mismatches could turn dangerous. Having personally endured some of the sport's most punishing wars, his words carry real weight. Rather than criticize the event, Froch's message sounded like a veteran's reminder that no matter how big the spotlight, fighter safety must always come first.
I mean, I don't really take Jake Paul that serious. He can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. He swings away, stands up straight, and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, he does so much wrong. It's just, everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defense. He telegraphs his punches. Like, you put him in with someone his own size, it was a professional, and it's a mismatch. And you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him, he's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level. And then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds. It's like totally different. It's like a different sport.
Observers following Gervonta Davis's training camp have highlighted a noticeable shift in his demeanor. Focused, disciplined, and entirely locked in. There's no showmanship, no wasted energy, and no distractions. Everything about his preparation signals a fighter who understands exactly what this moment means. Analysts emphasize that this bout is about far more than money. A victory over Jake Paul wouldn't just add another win to Davis's record. It would place him before a massive global audience that extends well beyond boxing's usual reach. That kind of visibility could redefine his public image and open doors far outside the ring. With that in mind, Davis appears intent on sending a message, not just securing a paycheck. Coaches say his training has reached a new level of precision and intensity, with every punch thrown and every drill executed like it carries championship weight. Those close to the camp believe Davis isn't preparing for participation. He's preparing for validation.
Press conference, and you can just look at him and tell, like, no, this dude he's gonna get this money for sure, because there's so much money out there to be had. But Jake Paul better be not playing around, man. Not get cute, not play any games, don't hit him in the back of the head, don't rabbit punch him, don't do any of that stuff, man, because Mike Tyson, first of all, Mike Tyson, a lot of people think Mike Tyson was pulling punches on Jake Paul, and a lot of people think that Anderson Silva was pulling punches on him too. You're not going to have a little Gervonta out there pulling punches on you, man, if you're out there playing games. So, I don't like the fight at all. However, as far as it being an entertaining situation, I almost guarantee you that fight itself is going to be entertaining. That it's going to be something that you look at and you're going to say, man, everybody's going to watch it. Everybody's going to want to know what happens in it. But at the same time, it's kind of like what people think, when you see a car crash. Like, you're driving down the road and all of a sudden the traffic gets heavy and you're like, man, I'm going to be in traffic for a long time. And then you drive forward a little bit and then you see, oh man, this is some accident on the other side of the road and everybody just slowing down to watch. That's the type of entertainment that you can expect from this fight between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul. There's going to be a lot of people watching it, but I gotta say, man, you really can't blame the guy on what he's doing. And there's a lot of criticism flying on Gervonta Davis. It's not Gervonta Davis's fault that boxing took this turn. This turn of these exhibition fights and people not caring about the belts and all of that stuff.
Teofimo Lopez, one of boxing's brightest young champions, views the upcoming event through a pragmatic lens, as a smart business move above all else. In his words, not every fight needs to carry historic weight or revolve around championship gold. Sometimes the market simply calls for entertainment, and both fighters are answering that call strategically. Lopez argues that athletes deserve the chance to secure financial stability while broadening their audience reach. As long as the matchup delivers excitement and keeps fans engaged, everyone wins. He adds that not every bout has to chase Hall of Fame glory. In today's era, building massive visibility and commercial success can be just as powerful a victory.
Happy for Gervonta and Jake. I really am, man. It's good for the sport in some way,
So a heavyweight versus a lightweight.
Yeah.
You got a fly hit me, yeah. A heavyweight versus a lightweight. How's this gonna work?
Hey, they make it work. It's an exhibition for a reason. So, they know what they're doing. And, shout out to Netflix and shout out to both of them, honestly. Like I said, I think a lot of people in the boxing world are kind of upset. I could care less. I think they're going to go out there and make their money. It falls on the number 8 for a reason. They're going to make a lot of money.
Have you got a prediction for that fight?
My prediction? A show. A show.
Well, clearly it's a show, but when you've got a lot of people underestimating Jake Paul once again, but when you've got a heavyweight boxer who knows how to throw punches and knows the basics against a lightweight, it's quite a difference. I mean, have you sparred heavyweights before?
Yeah.
For competitive sparring in the ring?
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same, not at all. Definitely got to move. I've actually played around a few times, went through between their legs just to duck around. But yeah, because they're taller, But I think for that competition, that fight, it reminds me a lot like The Big Show, and Floyd Mayweather when they fought in WrestleMania.
Yeah. And will that end the same way?
Possibly. Maybe some brass knuckles in there too.
Can you see Jake Paul knocking out Gervonta Davis?
It's boxing, man. And if it's a show like this, anything goes, anything happens.
The weight difference has become one of the central talking points surrounding this matchup, and analysts continue to debate how much it could influence the outcome. Many experts note that Jake Paul's clear physical advantage could pose real danger if his punches land flush, arguing that size and strength remain undeniable factors in combat sports. Yet others see it differently. They believe Gervonta Davis's refined technique, sharp defense, and world-class timing provide the perfect tools to offset that gap. To them, boxing has never been about who looks stronger on the scales. It's about who executes better under pressure, who reads the moment faster, and who lands first with purpose and precision.
It is happening. WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis, who's unbeaten in 31 professional contests, takes on the self-proclaimed problem child, Jake Paul, one of the most influential and marketable global personalities. Paul and Davis square off in Miami after doubts around the fight being sanctioned in Georgia triggered a change in venue. Neither fighter can weigh more than 195 pounds. The weight is perhaps the most surprising factor. Paul has boxed most of his career around 200 pounds, the cruiserweight limit, but did tip the scales at 227 pounds when he faced off against Iron Mike Tyson last year. Davis, much smaller in stature, competes at the 135 pound mark and has also won world honours at super featherweight.
And despite some discussions about possibly dropping down to 10 ounces, the pair seem set to wear 12-ounce gloves.
And in terms of distance, despite the exhibition tag, the fight will play out over 10 3-minute rounds with 3 scoring judges at ringside, but the result will not be officially recorded on their professional records.
Carl Froch has doubled down on his earlier cautions, issuing even stronger warnings about the potential dangers of a matchup marked by such a dramatic size gap. He reminded fans that athletic commissions normally enforce strict regulations to prevent hazardous mismatches that could threaten a fighter's safety. Froch explained that the sheer impact from a naturally larger and stronger opponent can overwhelm even the most technically skilled boxer. In his view, the smaller fighter in this case has never truly absorbed that level of power in open competition. While sound technique and movement can reduce risk, Froch stressed that unpredictable moments inside the ring always remain possible. His position is clear. The priority should be safety over spectacle.
My name was mentioned at his press conference and he shit himself, and the fight was just absolutely fucking diabolical. Again, I've said before, he's not a professional boxer. He never will be. And he proves time and time again that he's not a professional fighter. So, Jake Paul, go on, piss off.
UFC President Dana White offered a typically blunt take on the upcoming spectacle, noting that public excitement hasn't quite reached the explosive levels promoters were likely expecting. Still, he acknowledged potential benefits for Gervonta Davis, particularly in reclaiming some positive attention after recent months where headlines outside the ring overshadowed his elite performances. White pointed out that Jake Paul's physical advantages, notably his reach and size, could create difficult moments if he applies steady pressure. In that scenario, Davis would need to rely on his ring IQ, footwork, and counterpunching to stay in control. Dana's overall tone mixed skepticism with realism. While he doubts the bout's competitive balance, he recognizes that a strong showing from Davis could reshape both his career trajectory and public image.
Jake Paul to beat Gervonta Davis. This is not a fight that I'm excited for at all. I would rather have Gervonta Davis fighting in a real boxing match against the likes of Lamont Roach, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, Emmanuel Navarrete, Anybody that is in the 135-pound division and around, that's where I want to see Gervonta Davis fight. However, we live in a world where everybody is trying to do things as big as possible. And the biggest fights possible right now, unfortunately for the sport of boxing, is an exhibition fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. So, I do like it for this reason, though. I like it because it is allowing Gervonta Davis to have a fight that is going to be big and that the mainstream media is going to have to cover, the mainstream media outside the world of boxing. Gervonta Davis has been, without a doubt, blocked, having venues blocked, having fighters, having other promoters paying fighters away to go different directions from Gervonta Davis. So Gervonta Davis was in a bit of a hole.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates and insights as this story continues to unfold. Until next time, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next.